fuck AI. So in the last year, we've all seen the rise of AI tools like Midjourney, DALL-E, and ChatGPT, and you've seen how they have exploded in popularity. You can't escape AI these days. It's dead internet theory. So now we've been seeing AI content for a few years now, and I myself used to think AI is not that bad. It's not a problem. Because, when it first came out, it was terrible. Got no fingers. Barely got a fucking nose. Your eyes, one is won't, the other one is teeny tiny. And it's like, I didn't think it was a threat to anything at the time. Like, this was 2022. That stage of AI, I thought, why are people worrying about AI? Oh god, I was wrong! So the AI plague is upon us. AI has gotten its grubby, slimy hands all over our data. So, when it comes to, any creative's works, don't worry. ChatGPT got you covered because they stole your stuff. So, now their hands are on cosplay, and as you probably can tell, this is my baby girl. I love cosplay. I've been doing this for 9 years currently, so yeah, I am not enjoying this. Now, before we get into this, I want to emphasize that cosplay is a craft of love and passion. You don't build something because, it's trending, it's funny. Well, some people do, but you build it because this is what you love. And with myself, I love Dragon Age. Just some non-cosplay proof. I painted this. I love Dragon Age so much. It is my special interest. And when it comes to cosplay, that is almost always my preferred choice in what I'm going to cosplay. So for me, AI touching cosplay is just a little bit too close to home, I guess. Now, for a quick history lesson. So the origins of cosplay can be traced back to 1939, when Forrest James Ackerman and his friend Myrtle A. Jones appeared in costume at the first World Science Fiction Convention in New York. So I couldn't find anything on what exactly his cosplay was. It was just futuristic cosplay. You can make a decision for yourself. Inspired by the 1933 film Things to Come. While Myrtle wore a gown that was, inspired or recreated by said film. So yeah, I will put that there. The term itself is from the 1970s when a Japanese reporter named observed fans dress up in costume from sci-fi and fantasy media at Worldcon in Los Angeles. So he went and he coined the term, and cosplay has blown up ever since. Look at the difference. What we have now, 2019, it started to blow up. The standard has been brought up so much, but if you just went back to 2015, there's a lot less. It wasn't as popular, it wasn't as mainstream, but it's great that it is now. So, yeah. Thank you for coining cosplay, but anyway, enough of the history lesson. Just wanted to emphasize that since I am talking about cosplay and how AI has infiltrated it, so I might as well do a wee history lesson. Anyway, back to AI. Nowadays, most cosplayers obtain their patterns on Etsy. The platform itself has a very problematic policy when it comes to AI, as all you have to do, as you may see according to this, is just declare you have AI generated something. But it does not need to be declared to the consumer! So as long as Etsy knows it's AI, that's fine. But, your consumer, they don't need to know. So, yeah, fuck Etsy. People usually use Etsy for sewing patterns. It could be generic clothing patterns or just cosplay specific. But, even AI is making crochet patterns. So, yeah, it's getting harder to keep AI out of, like Etsy and other similar platforms. I'm just mentioning Etsy more because they are the platform. So at first glance, these listings, they do seem nothing out of the ordinary. They are detailed, they are colorful, they look professionally photographed. But, here's the thing. Many of these patterns were never tested. So... And you'll find in some cases, they don't even work. And you'll find that no photos will ever be offered. And that's not saying people can't just be short with their reviews, but these reviews are often not, they're kind of tell signs, I guess, that something may not be right. So you think you have a good pattern, and the reviews were positive, but alas, there was no visual mock-up, or there's unproven instructions created by AI, not by someone who actually sat down and made the damn thing. Yes, the pattern, yes, it looks like a pattern in its listing. It may have a model, but these patterns are like if someone gave you a jigsaw piece and wanted you to solve the whole puzzle. They didn't give you the rest, they gave you one piece. So, my issue is, now you'll see these photos over here, right? These people don't exist! These are models for them. They're moving and everything. But notice, most of the time their hands remain in their pockets. Now, that can be a general fashion thing, but most of the time when the hands are hidden, it's AI. And considering these themselves are super shady and show very little of their patterns, I do believe this is AI, because I've even noticed how sometimes the textures make actually no sense on some of these videos, or sometimes, like the hair, it's too stiff. So unless someone has gone and soaked their hair in hairspray, it doesn't exactly work, does it? And the issue where this lies is, it is predatory on people who are not used to sewing, people who are not, long into the skill. And the inherent issue here is the nature of digital products. They cannot be returned because they are files. And I know, at least under EU law, you can't return it. It is very hard to actually get a return on a digital product. So, yeah, that makes it so much worse, because you can pay for 20, 30, 40 euro pattern and it is not usable. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining from the, oh, I got ripped off perspective. No, I'm fundamentally against generative AI, because it is theft from artists. There are many good pattern makers on, Etsy and whatever, but these AI, they just steal and they regurgitate products to steal more financially from artists and creatives. So while currently AI isn't at a point where it can make patterns too easily, you would have to get a subscription for a very good service. If you've noticed the trend of AI, every year it basically develops by 10. So, given that in the next year, whenever ChatGPT 5 comes out, it may be extremely hard to even identify or distinguish AI at all. They've already showed bits, and it's like, you can't really tell. It's jarring. The AI trend is pushing a new type of seller onto Etsy, one that doesn't need to know how to sew, how to craft, how to crochet, how to just make anything. They just use AI tools to generate a pattern, upload it, and sell it to unexpected buyers who assume, it's been tested by an actual person. And because these sellers can create dozens, even hundreds of patterns in a day, the market's getting flooded. It's harder to be seen if you actually are an artisan. Now, here's a thing that gets really shady. Some sellers are copying others' patterns and selling them as if their own, but they generate some AI products. So you may see some patterns that go around a lot, or you may see that pattern looks very similar except for they just changed the orientation of the pieces. Like, it's not the same printout on each page. Okay, this is from the Etsy community page. So, unethical practices copy digital downloads and AI-generated listings on Etsy. Hello, fellow Etsy sellers. I hope this point finds you all in good spirits. I am here today to discuss a frustrating situation I've encountered and to seek advice from those who might have been through something similar. It's disheartening to see our creative efforts being exploited, and I believe that sharing our experiences can provide much needed support. My frustrating experience: recently I discovered that someone has started selling copied versions of my digital downloads on Etsy. What's even more frustrating is that they use AI generated images and are using exact product titles, and to add insult to injury, they've priced their products significantly lower than mine, impacting my sales and hard-earned reputation. I have been a star seller every month since I started my shop. Ads, budgets, and thousands of hours of work. This isn't just unethical, it's theft. It tricks customers into paying for something that they could have gotten free or from a designer who created the pattern in the first place. Meanwhile, genuine creators, people who spend hours, days, months developing a single pattern, are getting drowned out. They are being pushed out of the market that they made to begin with. Etsy was created by artists, for artists, and now it's just AI slop. So, for them, Etsy was supposed to be a safe place, a creative place where creativity and craftsmanship mattered. It was always advertised that Etsy was a place for handmade goods and whatnot. But now it feels like they're competing with both bots, either selling AI slop or selling something that they drop ship from, like AliExpress. Now, AI does have policies around AI. Now, Etsy does actually have policies around AI generated content, but these are just that a seller must disclose that it's AI. Nothing else. There is no obligation to show a consumer that the product was AI generated. This isn't just about one platform. It's about what we value. When AI floods the markets with fake goods that are handmade or crafted, the word handmade itself starts to lose its meanings. Buyers are getting tricked. Artists are losing their income, and the whole ecosystem starts to fall apart because these platforms refuse to protect the real creators. AI might be a tool. Yes, it does have genuine good uses, but not generative AI. Generative AI is the main issue. When people talk about how AI is bad, they aren't talking about AI that can identify things. They're talking about AI that is built off stolen data that then regurgitates that stolen data into its own homunculi for someone to put out into the world. It has been used to create better filing systems. It has been used for being like a maths tutor. Those things are good. But what's not good is stealing from creatives and regurgitating stuff. We are seeing it everywhere. We're seeing how, like, even with the current SAG-AFTRA game strikes, 11 companies refuse to not use AI in either getting face models or in with AI copying actors or their performance. It's like nothing is safe these days. AI steals creative people's works and corrupts it into an amalgamation of shit. Because yes, pardon my language, that's what it is. Here are some things you can do to support some actual crafters. So, check the seller's histories. Are they actually an artist or are they a mass listing machine? So, are we seeing on their page maybe they have 10 patterns, or are we seeing they have like 100 patterns despite having an account that isn't too old? Like, was this store opened in like 2013? That would make sense for a high number. But oh, this was open in 2024 and there's like 119 listings? That is suspicious. Look for AI disclosures. Do they say it? Have they said it? You need to know. So another thing you could do is go onto the seller's page. Do they link a social media or a website? Look at that. They may have it cheaper than what's on Etsy. So you could support them directly, or you could see, you know, like, is this person legit? Like, I don't really make all my patterns. What I mean by that is, I make them on Pepakura Designer, but I'm not making them because usually these are commissioned patterns, so I usually don't have a physical copy, like, of a already made helmet that I have. So, with me, you could just see my social media and it's like, no, I do actually in fact make cosplays and make patterns. It's just, these are ones that I haven't physically made. Report suspicious listings if you see them. Buy from creators you trust. Follow them on social media. Ask questions. Build that connection. Because, yeah, they will help you if they are genuine. You'll notice if they're AI, they won't be able to tell you anything. So even if you go to buy a pattern, text using like the Etsy feature. Text them first before you buy anything. Ask them. Simple. Now, will it all respond? Probably not. But there will be people who do, so try and support them. AI hasn't just affected patterns, it's quite literally everywhere. AI has started to be used in product photos and for videos of physical cosplays. So, some, like the ones that are shown here, you know, they are more obvious that they are AI because, you know, they're probably using the free versions or whatever. But now AI is being used to alter cosplay photos to make cosplayers less recognizable so then you could still keep the integrity of the cosplay while hiding the identity of the cosplayer. So, I just used a photo of myself because it felt wrong to use photos of anyone else. So, for example, here's a shot of me in my NCR Ranger with a short prompt from Dolly. Boom! That isn't me! That is not me! Now, take it, it was so vague, so it isn't the best, but if I was more specific with my prompts and just kept on refining it, take it, you can see here, free version, I don't have the credits for it, nor am I gonna fucking pay for AI shit. So, yeah, as you may see, that ain't me anymore. Nah. So, I've been noticing this pattern be on so many other platforms, and oh my god. So, when sellers use AI-generated models or AI enhanced images to showcase a product, a wig, a prop, a full-on costume, right, it often shows a version of that item that just, quite frankly, doesn't exist. The lighting is always flawless, the fit is perfect, the materials look premium. Even if it's not, sometimes these products are just so bad. Like, okay, sometimes these products are just so bad. These are like ones that, if you look at them too long, they like exploded, imploded, gone. Like, they are terrible. The quality, it's like a bloody napkin sometimes. So, you know, when they go and they smooth out things with AI and Photoshop, or if they just deceive you with another person's genuine, really, really, really well-made cosplay, and they say, that's my product over there, I'm definitely selling this. Yeah, that's just predatory behavior. Because what they actually are selling is something that is basically pantyhose, but they made a full cosplay out of it. And what they're saying they sold is a like 300 minimum euro worth of fabric piece, but probably ended up costing nearly £1,000 to make. And they're saying, that's my product. You may be paying 100 quid, but that's my product. That's not the product. The products sometimes just have actually never been, the products have just sometimes never actually been made. So you could just have an AI generated photo of a cosplay that literally doesn't exist. It's not even an altered photo of someone's cosplay. It literally doesn't exist. This hurts consumers and devalues the work of real creators who put so much work into making their cosplays, and to have their photos stolen, that hurts their photographer, that hurts them. But to have their photos stolen and their identity erased for a scam can be so soul destroying. And yeah, like, it's, I don't know, I fucking hate it. And I don't know, I hate it. I just hate it. Like, cosplays take months. My Cullen took me 8 months. Yes, I was doing exams at the time, but that was nearly a year. That was nearly a year. My Grey Warden, that took 6 months. And then Rook, I started November 3rd and I finished him on March. Rook, I started that November 3rd, you know, a few days after the game came out, and I finished it March 12th. I worked so much on that. I spent 2 weeks doing all-nighters on this. Cosplay requires passion, it requires love. But that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist with AI. Cosplay is passion. AI is slop. For those who are avid lovers of TikTok, you may have seen some creators who have amazing cosplays, but some are not as they seem. There are creators who make videos that are supposedly cosplaying, but notice how little they move. Now, it's rarely disclosed, and people eat it up on TikTok. And yeah, it can be pretty bad. Like, this guy, for example. Now, if these were actual builds, these would be amazing, but you notice, this man does not really move. Nor does he really say it's AI. Yes, you can always see he has effects, and he'll say, oh yeah, I edited effects. He doesn't put tags that, like, oh, this is generated, or this doesn't exist. No, he uses specifically cosplay tags. He tells you this is the cosplay. He is not telling you that it's AI. Yeah, it's kind of discouraging to actual people who make stuff like that, because yeah, I don't get that. I don't get those likes. I can't build something like that. But this is also an expectation that is being given to viewers. They think, oh, this is what cosplayers make, and then when you make something that's actually more realistic, they're like, huh? That's kind of shit. And it's always this huge, amazing cosplays, like, okay, yeah, but most of these builds would be half a year at a minimum if they were actually real. The guy doesn't move. Not the only creator who does it, but he is the largest creator when it comes to it. So, there's also an issue with TikTok gooners, and yes, I'm gonna call them gooners, that's what they are. They try to, quote-unquote, fix cosplays with AI by making them usually more sexualized, because why not? You know, like, this not only violates general ethics, but also the cosplayer of this just weird. Like, hey, I seen you did a Tsunade cosplay, but your boobs weren't big enough. I'm gonna go and fix that for you. Alright? And it's like, dude, fuck off. Just AI generate a photo of Tsunade with bigger boobs, then you don't need to get an actual person who cosplayed them and do it for them and be like, I hope you love this, I made this for you. No, you didn't. To say you created with some AI is like to say you created something and you used AI is like saying you cooked something when you microwaved ready meal. You didn't. You went hot meal. You didn't make it. You poked a hole in some plastic, put that plastic in, and press some buttons. It does honestly just make me very mad that we have so much AI in our spaces now. Because if you asked me 3 years ago, I probably would have laughed at you and just went like, are you actually kidding me? It's not that deep. AI is awful. It is not gonna do so that it can't replace people. AI is trash. But now if you ask me, I'd go, yeah, that's a genuine concern. Take it. AI won't replace people's cosplays physically. It won't. But it will steal from people. It will steal from the actual cosplayers and use them for scams, or it will just steal from the pattern makers and make patterns. That library of knowledge from creatives will just be ate up to spit out slop. Now, I'm just hoping we get more legislation, because in the EU we already have some legislation, yes, but it doesn't cover everything, and it doesn't protect creatives, and it doesn't really protect people and their jobs and their well-being financially. All it does is just make sure that AI isn't going to be used to, like, completely screw us over. This is the act itself, and this is what it entails. We need to make it known. We don't like AI. AI just steals from us. And what's such an issue is that artists are already undervalued. Historically, they've always been undervalued, except for, I guess, peak Renaissance, right? It's undervalued. And AI was to do the things we didn't want to do so we could do what we want. But AI has been corrupted, and it's being used to do exactly what we want so we could do the rugged labor. AI was supposed to help us. It was not supposed to steal from us. And the fact that it's affecting everything now is just horrid.